Greetings, brothers and sisters, family and friends. I am the Minister of Wellness, Nathaniel Jordan, and we've made it. We've made it. We're on the final, but unfortunately, the worst component of food addiction. Finally here. So I want every one of you that have kept up with all the videos to give yourselves a round of applause, and apologize that it took so long to finally get this video out. I wanted to take my time, type out the article. All the article versions are up on my Facebook page, the Minister of Wellness, which you should be following because I post recipes every day that you can print out also. So that's the Minister of Wellness. You can follow me on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. But the article version, the transcribed version of each 12 component, I felt it was important to do an article for each video. Why? Because this is my job, to get you off the death train. The last and worst component of food addiction, the ego trap, hopelessness. This is the last and worst component of food addiction. Now, but before I dive on in, I'll state over, and I'll state what I've been stating every video. You need to go back and watch the 11 parts, okay, before you dive into this one. It's foolish to jump into the last component and you don't even understand the other 11 components. Now, I know most of you not going to listen to me, but I know I don't speak to the masses. So for those of you all listening to one of my videos for the first time, understand that I always speak to the few within the masses, which have been shown, which have been chosen to walk a higher path when it comes to their health. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I know that this component is going to get more views than the other ones. Why? Because of the title. Because of the title. Okay. Most of you that's listening to this, you haven't even watched G-Bombs. That's why you constantly asking me questions that I've already addressed in that 12-part series. But people are going to come because of the title. It's thought-provoking. Ooh, the last component and worst component of food addiction. What might that be? And so this video will get more views than the other ones. We live in a world where people are addicted to entertainment. They jump from one thing to another. Every one of the 12 components of food addiction is essential to understand. Now, I'm going to get into it. I promise you, I'm going to get into it. I'm almost done. I'm just trying to, listen, let me say this. Let me say this to those of you all who are going to continue watching this video instead of doing what I'm asking you to do, what I'm advising you to do. Watch G-Bombs, then food addiction. You're not going to make it in your health journey. You're not. Because if you can't exercise the patience to learn about the most critical information that you have to master in your health journey, you're not one of the great ones. You're not truly committed to change. Not yet, anyway. The great ones, the ones who will submit their testimonial to me, having lost over 50 pounds, reversed a severe disease. I have a sister in San Jose, California, matter of fact, that is on her way to reversing breast cancer. All praises to the Most High. See, those people, they've not only have kept up with this entire series, but again, some of you all listening, you all have watched all of the G-Bombs. Now, all of this is a part of the ego trap. This is all relevant. You know, my rant, as some of you all call it, to try to get you to stop being hard-headed and watched all the other videos leading up to this one. It is a part of the ego trap. It's foolish pride. It's a quick way to stay on the death train. You want to do what you want to do, even though what you want to do and what you have been doing has left you fat and sick. And I say fat and sick, not fat or sick, because if you're overweight, you're sick. Body fat is a disease. I've been winning the war against food addiction by the grace of the Most High for 7 years. Currently, I am 9% body fat. And for me, the level that I had reached, that's out of shape. When I'm in top shape, I'm around 4. If you have not achieved what I have achieved, you need to humble yourself and learn. And the reason why some of you can't do that is because of pride, the ego trap, lying to yourself that it doesn't take all of that. I don't have to watch all them videos. I know what I'm doing. Accepting beliefs and ideologies that fit your warped perception instead of opening your mind up to be renewed by the unadulterated truth, that's the last and worst component of food addiction. It's the last and worst component. Now, why do people accept belief systems about health when obviously the mirror tells them that what they believe isn't working? Well, because accepting half-truths are comfortable. It keeps them from experiencing failure if they go all in. No one likes to fail. It sucks to fail. Therefore, most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid failure. But in doing so, they never maximize their potential because failure is necessary on the path towards greatness. I know I'm right about it. Instead of embracing failure, people allow their brains to create a way of thinking that protects their fragile egos. So therefore, we have the creation of, some of the 5 most pervasive thought processes about excellent nutrition, contaminating the masses, keeping them on the death train. Here are the 5 most common arguments and belief systems that people hold when it comes to eating to live. We're all going to die anyway. Everything is terrible to eat. Everything's poison. Your fruits and vegetables are killing you. It's all about doing everything in moderation, Minister of Wellness. Moderation. Well, Bob ate perfectly and lived a perfect life, and he still dropped dead of a heart attack at 50. I know you all have heard all these. And my favorite one of all, my great grandma ate chitlins fried in lard every day and lived to be 150 years old. She beat old Moses in excellent health. Yep, old great grandma. These are the basic arguments you will hear from the insane food zombie masses. Now, before I dive into each of these mindsets that come from the ego trap or hopelessness, our last and worst component of food addiction, I do want to define what an insane food zombie is. I want you all to keep this in mind. An insane food zombie is so addicted to the standard American diet The addiction has wired their brain to the point of no return. They truly and sincerely would rather suffer and die than change the way they eat. They reject any nutritional information that challenges their addiction. They don't want the truth. They want to be left alone to their own destruction. To attempt to educate an insane food zombie on the dangers of their diseased meat and processed food diet can be dangerous to your life. Yes, sir. There is more hope in helping a hog change his diet of slop than an insane food zombie. Y'all know I don't hold back. Stop acting like you surprised. Well, some of you all have heard me for the first time. All the other 11 components are what overwhelms someone into becoming an insane food zombie. Okay? It's all the other 11 components. This has been a long series. Y'all didn't know it was this much into this. The fight is too much. It's too much. So they devolve deeper into hopelessness. And to defend their sense of worth, despite giving themselves over to a lifetime of obesity, prescription drugs, and gluttony, here's what happens. Their ego kicks in. By rejecting nutritional education and acting as if they don't care how they look and feel. They put on a facade. Oh, I don't care. It is evil beyond recognition that we have so many millions of people trapped in a web so tangled they have embraced their own entanglement. The barrage of mind-altering chemicals in the food, water, and air is too much for most to overcome. They have been zombied out. And this usually happens over a lifetime of failing to achieve their weight loss and health goals at some point in their lives. Don't you dare let this happen to you. They gave up the fight. And it's been so many years since they've even tried. A wall has been created to block anything or anyone who would attempt to challenge them to try again. Unfortunately, in today's time, most children are being raised as insane food zombies by their parents and grandparents. They are not even being allowed to know what it feels like to be lean and healthy. This is sad. They're coming out of the womb damaged physically and mentally. And then they come out and then assaulted with a barrage of toxic vaccinations. The entire birthing process by the medical industry is damaging children. Make sure you read that book by John Robbins, Reclaiming Our Health, especially women. It's sad. It's sad. They've medicalized even the doggone birthing process, something women been doing for thousands and thousands of years. Now they treat that like a disease. By age 12, most American children have heart disease. and are extreme food addicts. The obesity rate amongst American children is sickening. The worst part about an insane food zombie is, like most people trapped in destructive addictions, they want to convert others into being zombies like them. Misery loves company. People want to recreate around them people that will support their negative behaviors. Why do they do that? So it can ease their conscience. Now, I must admit, not every single food zombie reaches this level. Okay, some of you all are food zombies listening, but you still have some hope left in you. And of course, for those of you all who have the hope left in you, you're going to watch all the other parts of this series and the G-bombs that preceded this series. Some food zombies will leave you alone if you leave them alone. If you let them, as long as you let them eat themselves to death in peace, all is good. And I don't encourage any of us that are enlightened to go after the food zombies, because like I said, it can be dangerous. Remember, the standard American diet invokes severe mental illness and can lead to violence, so be careful. But more often than not, as a part of their defense mechanism, food zombies usually become food bullies. They want you on the death train with them. They want you to be fat. They want you to take prescription drugs. Now, here's what's ironic. Follow me here. They don't necessarily want you to die. You know, 'cause many of you all listening, your loved ones are food zombies. They're insane food zombies. But so they don't want you to die per se. But this is how stupid their mentality is, because they will bully and encourage you to commit suicide with food, but they don't actually want you to die from the suicidal eating. We see this in the family get-togethers. We got July 4th coming around the corner, and everybody like a bunch of dumb sheep. They're gonna be sitting there hogging out on the most cancer-causing, heart-destroying, brain-damaging diet the devil himself must have created. But in the midst of that hogging, here's where the stupidity comes in, or the insane food zombie. If that last barbecue rib or that fried chicken sends Uncle Bob 6 feet under from a massive heart attack, well, then the food orgy turns into a sob fest. Oh, yeah, there's an incredible spike in death during the holidays, so-called holidays. Incredible. Make no mistake about it. Ambulance is going to be busy July 4th. They're going to be busy. Hospitals are going to be overcrowded. See how dumb our culture is? See how ridiculous this is? You watch the man eat himself to death, our hypothetical Uncle Bob. You watch the man eat himself to death. You encouraged him to eat himself to death. But then you sobbing like a newborn baby at the funeral. And then you put the dirt on Uncle Bob. But does logic kick in? Does it kick in, brothers and sisters? Somebody die in your family from the standard American diet. Does logic kick in where the family says, you know what, it's time to end this madness? No. By the time you're at the repast, suicide by diet continues. until it wipes out the entire family, one by one. That's the death train. That's the death train. Now, what will happen if I, you all watching this video? What if you dared to raise up your voice like a trumpet at the funeral of the loved one who died from food addiction and speak this type of truth to the zombie family members? What will happen? Well, like I said, your life, you may be endangering your life. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They want to remain in la la land. The 12 components of food addiction has taken all of the fight out of them. As a matter of fact, the only fight they have left is, guess what? You. Yeah. Hope. If they see hope in you, that's what they fight. Oh, yeah. Hell hath no fury like an insane food addict who sees someone fighting to get off the death train. And I was 260 pounds, 30% body fat. As a police officer in St. Louis, Missouri, I was simply Big Nate. I was a part of the crowd. I fit in with everyone else, but oh boy, when it was my time to get off the death train, when the seeds of me slowly becoming the minister of wellness was being birthed, the zombies came against me. I simply got down to 220, and here comes an overweight female police officer, chronic high blood pressure, extreme food addiction. Told me I looked like a crackhead. The lower I got, the worse it got. But thank God I'm a rebel by nature, so their hate, that just fueled me. And I actually made it all the way down to 155 pounds at one point. And, you know, that was after I did an 8-day water fast. I had made it down to 155. Yeah, from 260 to 155. I even had to check a close friend of mine for hating on me. You know, he would call me skinny in a disparaging way. You all know how people do. They act like they're messing around, but they're really trying to insult you. Oh, skinny. Hey, skinny. Then I ended it. I shut him up when I challenged him to get in the ring with me, because by the time I made it down to that, when I made it down to 207, I started training to fight again. I mean, I heard it all. I heard it all. You look sick. Look like a crackhead. Are you okay? You gonna blow away with the wind. Come on, Nate. All that ain't necessary. You can stop now. Sounds familiar? The American culture is so backward. If you start losing a lot of weight, you are considered sick. To an insane food zombie, you must be ill for losing weight living in America. How you living in America and you losing weight? There's something wrong with you. As a matter of fact, they believe you crazy for not eating the way they do. I mean, in the mind of an insane food zombie, who in their right mind would turn down some barbecue wings or fried drumsticks or some Ben and Jerry's ice cream? Some of y'all probably just got done hogging down some of this slop. But that's okay. You trying to get on the right path. Now, remember, I said that I have a very strong will. So the more they persecuted me, that just pushed me to get even smaller. Now, my brother Anthony, I helped him get down from 240 to 170. Now, his personality is much different than mine. So he had a much more difficult time dealing with these food zombies on the police department. That's the worst group of food addicts, police. See, my brother Anthony, he's much more outgoing than me. So social normalcy affects him a lot harder than it does an introvert such as myself. So when the insane food addicts, when they witnessed him, a 20 plus year veteran of the police department, and they saw this man return to the weight he was coming out of the police academy at age 21, they went nuts. They went nuts. It got so bad. Even after I left, he would call me because he was tempted to go back to eating a sack of crack castles every day to regain his weight. Well, thankfully, I was there to pull him through until he retired. And I'm not joking. I'm exaggerating. They were bullying him. They were bullying him. He was experiencing real mental anguish. He was getting harassed and persecuted every day by insane food zombies. Some of you all are going through a similar situation. Well, I have a word for you today. If you're troubled on every side, don't be distressed. Keep fighting. Perplexed by the foolishness of our culture, don't despair. Keep fighting. Persecuted by food zombies, but don't you dare give in, because God has not and will not forsake you. They will cast you down and out, but they can't destroy the greatness within you. So keep fighting, and always keep in mind that our God, who began a good work in you, is able and willing to complete that work until the end. Keep that in mind. All right, we're about halfway through. I told you this is the last and worst component of food addiction. So maybe pause it and take a little break and get up and walk around for a few minutes if you have to. We still got a little ways to go. So I'm going to dissect the 5 arguments that I mentioned earlier that formulate the mentality of an insane food addict. Remember, this is the ego trap. Hopelessness. This is the worst component of food addiction. People becoming food zombies because they feel so overwhelmed. They give up, but the shame and the guilt from giving up, it turns them into zombies. And they spend their entire lives trying to fight the truth and fight others who have the hope in them that they lost a long time ago. And I I don't wish that upon anybody. Because what is life without hope? We're all going to die anyway. We're all going to die anyway. That's true. That is true. Insane food zombie. But listen, our lives on this earth are of vital importance. God did not create us to suffer and die from poisoning ourselves with food addiction. Our physical lives prepares us for the eternal to come. How can you develop into the best person you can be if you're fat and sick? You can't. People only apply this insane logic to their harmful addictions. For instance, the gambler will correctly argue that we can't take our money to the grave. So why not spend it all? The sex addict, they claim, well, we only live one life, so you should be able to sleep with whomever you want, whenever you want. It is evil to destroy yourself physically just because we're going to die anyway. If all life is about death, then why don't we just all get it over with and jump off a cliff? You know why we won't all do that? Because deep inside, we know there is a great purpose to fulfill during our time on this earth. How sad that insane food zombies, such as my father, are willing to sacrifice spending time with their spouses, children, and grandchildren, and doing what they were gifted to do for as long as possible for the pleasure of frankenfoods. How severe will the judgment be for the sorcerers creating drug foods that makes people suicidal over food? God have mercy on their souls. Our next argument. Everything is toxic. Minister, well, I don't want to hear nothing about no G-bombs. The G-bombs ain't nothing but poison too. Yeah, but what about organic? Oh, that don't matter about no organic. That's a lie. Yeah, but what if I raise my... that don't matter either. The soil's polluted. I don't care. Don't matter. It's all toxic. That's just the victim mentality. That's the victim mentality. The ego trapper, they don't believe they have what it takes to put the hard work in and to achieve an excellent health. You all following me? So their cop-out for not doing their best is to act as if regardless of their efforts, it wouldn't matter anyway. The truth, here's the truth. There are thousands of people right now in 2019 reversing stage 4 cancers 100% naturally. Yes, sir. Humans are the most adaptable species on the planet. Our bodies are highly resistant to the stresses of life. How insane, Mr. or Mrs. Zombie, is it to believe that if my father made it to 58 years old before his first stroke, eating pork and soda as his primary caloric intake, And you're telling me that the results would have been the same had he traded in his pork and soda for green vegetables and beans? My mother is on a strict budget, and she still lost 40 pounds, reversed her high blood pressure, eating conventional fruits and vegetables from Shop and Save and Aldi's. If the body can fight for decades against fried chicken, surely it can fight against pesticide residue on some kale. All we can do is the best we can do. And that's what God expects of us. Eating yourself to death because you have convinced yourself that everything is toxic anyways, it's pathetic. It is a cowardly way out of taking responsibility for your life. Stop being a victim and be a victor. Moving on. Moderation. Listen, moderation kills. Ain't hear nothing about no doggone moderation. The body only knows two things when it comes to food. Either what we gave it is the medicine it needs to be healthy and fight disease, or we gave it less than what it needs, period. And right now, in our time, our world is too toxic for moderation. We grew up too backwards for moderation. You're either in or you out. You can't halfway ride the death train and the life train at the same time. Choose you this day whom thou shalt serve. Either you will submit to the medicine foods of the Most High or stay on the death train. And as for me and my house, we will let food be our medicine and medicine be our food. 90% of all Americans are overweight, obese, mentally ill, popping some type of pill. Yet they still want to cling to their moderation diet foolishness. Don't be like the food zombie masses. Ditch all Franken foods and strive for nutritional and lifestyle perfection. Every bite counts. Every bite counts. Moving on. Food zombies. Insane food zombies trapped in the ego trap. Hopelessness. These are all the excuses they make up because they don't believe they have what it takes. All of this I'm going over. This is all created by food addiction. They don't believe they have what it takes. So they create an entire way of thinking to support their suicide by diet. This is sad, but this is how people are. And I have to break it down like this so you all can have a defense against these zombies because we're outnumbered. But we have the truth on our side. They always exaggerate about somebody they supposedly knew ate the perfect diet and yet still died young of some type of disease. I mean, now this is pretty much an extension of the we're all going to die anyway argument. Okay. Again, they're afraid of failing. And to defend their ego, let's go. They point at Bob,
who ate nothing but fruits and vegetables and ran marathons every day and still died of heart disease. What you gotta say about that, minister? And then they contrast that to grandma. You know, grandma, she smoked 10 packs of cigarettes every day, got 1 hour of sleep every night, and was still competing in the Olympics at age 100 when she died a peaceful death at home. The truth is, the zombies are lying. They're lying, and they're exaggerating. Just as much as I'm trying to paint a funny picture, because I'm trying to get you all to realize how ridiculous their arguments are. Listen, they weren't there for every meal that this so-called people be talking like they was in them people's mouths every second of every day. They don't really know what they were eating or how they were living. None of us can determine that. I don't even know what my sons are eating when they away at school. You know, which is one of the reasons why I want to homeschool. But while they're in school, all I can do is have the faith that they're eating the healthy foods we send them to school with. You all don't know how I'm eating. I don't know how you all are eating. You all are assuming that I'm eating to live as your minister of wellness, but you don't really know. I mean, like I said, they sit here, these insane food zombies, with this stupid argument about this person did this and still died despite doing that. Man, you were not there with them every single morsel they put in their mouths. Listen, the standard American diet is so unnatural. I want you all to pay close attention to this. Pay close attention to this. The standard American diet, brothers and sisters, it is so unnatural, so unhealthy. You could be eating better than 99% of all Americans and still be eating a disease-causing diet. Most Americans are so nutritionally retarded, they still believe that baked chicken and baked salmon is healthy. And then even if you get a plant-rich vegan, what are they? They still addicted to salt, fake meats, sugary carbs, and then they refuse to take the necessary supplements. We got many vegans and they still too stupid enough to take vitamin B12. The worst part about this particular argument is, make no mistake about it, many insane food zombies, they are secretly waiting for you to get sick. Yeah. Yeah, they waiting. They waiting for you to fail. They waiting for me to fail. So they can point, use me, add me to the list. See? Hey, he doing all that preaching and yelling and look at him. Mm-hmm. Y'all better enjoy you. You better enjoy them rib tips. Listen to that minister. Well, look at him. Still had a stroke. Mm-hmm. And the grandma argument. Oh, grandma. Good old grandma argument. The dumbest argument of all. If you don't even know how your peer ate and lived their lives, why do these zombies always talk about their grandparents like they were present every single meal and drink their grandparents ate for their entire lives? It is true. And I'm going to do that video series one day. I'm going to stroll through the comments of some of my most watched videos. And I'm going to read to you all the minds, the writings of an insane food addict, the ramblings. That'll be my new playlist. The ramblings of an insane food addict. Hey, come on now. I need some fun too, y'all. I got to have some type of fun. I mean, it's the stuff of legends. My grandfather, he drank cow's piss with his barbecue chickens fried in lard for breakfast. Then he had rat's booty and a pig snout salad for lunch. And then for dinner, he ate a raw beef burger with tree bark as the bun. Oh, yeah. And he used syrup instead of ketchup and mustard. Yeah, he ate that every single day and lived to be 125 years old without taking a single drug. So, Negro, I don't want to hear nothing about no fruits and vegetables.
They're exaggerating. They're exaggerating. And they're overlooking critical facts about the past to protect their ego. And why are they doing all this? Why all of this ridiculous scenario that I went over? And let me tell you something, it's not too far off of what I just stated. Yes, I'm exaggerating to try to lighten the mood a little bit, but brothers and sisters, the reason why it's so funny to many of you all is because I'm not that far off of what they say. I mean, they claim crazy stuff about their grandparents, people who were born 50 some odd years before they were even thought of. And they talk like they know every single thing about their diet. All of this because they don't have what it takes to eat to live. All of this over food. It's true. For instance, in Okinawa, Japan, they have always consumed pork. But when you look at the amount of pork they have consumed in relation to their overall caloric intake, it's a small amount. And then you have to look at all the other factors that affect health and longevity. You have to consider air quality, water quality, soil, relationships, family structure, stress, exercise. The way they live their overall lives is in no comparison to the way we live today. It is only insane food zombies trapped in hopelessness that cannot understand the common sense fact that we cannot compare our nutrition and lifestyle to the diet and lifestyle of those who were already adults before the rise of the processed food industry. In the 1940s, fast food restaurants didn't come out until the 50s, and especially mainly the 60s. We didn't get GMOs until the 80s, and most of our grandparents weren't vaccinated. You have to consider the full context before concluding that just because your grand loved one lived a long life despite nutritional imperfections, that therefore that frees you up to do the same and have the same results. I know I'm right about it, but as I've told some of you all, trying to speak logic to an insane food addict about nutrition, you might as well be talking to a can of worms. Don't let these food zombies trip you up. I'm slowly coming to an end, brothers and sisters. Don't let them trip you up with their illogical logic. Don't let them suck you in. Don't you dare let them suck you in. Hopelessness is the end game of the 12 components of food addiction. If they can strip you of any hope of getting off these foods of death, they've won. Because it is impossible to continue to eat the satanic American diet without ending up in the hands of the death care industry. They're waiting on you. And they are depending on the food industry to do its job of overcoming their frankenfoods such a difficult task that most will throw in the towel and sink into despair. Millions of food zombies don't believe it is possible for them not to be diabetic. They don't believe they don't have to develop cancer. They don't believe they don't have to have a heart attack or stroke. The fear of getting old in this nation has led millions of men, and especially women, into taking dangerous hormonal drugs, horrific barbaric surgeries and operations in a futile attempt to stop the aging process. The only way to make aging a graceful, beautiful thing is eating a plant-rich diet, vigorous exercise, forgiving your enemies, and treating all people exactly as you would want to be treated. There is an pill, potion, or powder in the world that can save you from destructive dietary and lifestyle habits. Don't you dare give up on your health. Don't you do it. It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to bring a salad to a barbecue. It takes courage to bring nutritarian cookies to a family get-together. Don't let this watered down, weak society we live in take the courage out of you. Stand strong. Some of you are sinking into hopelessness. Well, you're already there. I beg you to keep fighting. We're at the very end. We're at the very end of this long series on food addiction. And before I close real quickly, I want you to be aware of the following thoughts and statements that are an indication you are on your path towards becoming an irreparable food zombie. Watch out for these following thought processes. I don't want to be that small. Yes, you do. My doctor says nothing wrong with me. If you have slabs of fat hanging off your body and your doctor tells you there's nothing wrong with you, you need a new doctor. I'm too old to look that way again. Don't ever say that to yourself, brothers and sisters. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. That's a death sentence. To tell yourself you're too old to be healthy. The devil is a lie. Or blaming it on genetics. How we eat and live can alter our genes. Other dangerous belief systems is that you can't lose weight due to being big boned, or blaming the BMI chart on racism, or accepting the myth that women with children naturally get fatter, that being a woman means you can't lose weight as quickly as a man. Lies, lies, lies. Protecting your ego from the guilt and shame that develops from an inability to do what it takes to look and feel how you want to look and feel. And what I'm telling you As the minister of wellness is, I don't care who you are. And I don't care where you've been. If there's breath in your body, excellent health can be yours. Make a commitment to end the ego trap and hopelessness today. Because if you don't, Big Pharma and their 1,000 different side effect poisons are waiting for you. They're waiting to rob you of your money and your mental and physical health with dangerous, hocus pocus, superstitious treatments and surgeries. Hopelessness is the final stop on the death train. On the death train. So defeat the ego trap by speaking life to yourself each and every day. You all know the anthem. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. I want you, after every component of food addiction, to state that affirmation. So for instance, number 1, the pleasure trap. Look at the pleasure trap and say, I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. Cravings. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. The extinction burst. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. Spontaneous recovery. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. Social normalcy. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. Pain avoidance. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. Toxic hunger. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. Bad bacteria. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. Laziness. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. The condition cram. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. The cram circuit. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. And last but certainly not least, look at hopelessness dead in the eye and say, I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. Repeat this anytime the storm clouds of food addiction rises against you. And finally, brothers and sisters, family and friends, I want you to always remember that through the storms, through the rain, through sickness and pain, no matter how hard it is, no matter how hard it may get, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. And that is the end of our 12-part series on food addiction. That's the end, brothers and sisters. You all made it. You will make it. I pray for all of you all each and every day. Of course, I can't remember all of you by name, but I'll just remember in your worst times of fighting this demonic force that you have me as your minister of wellness crying out to the Most High in Christ on your behalf as you fight this war. I'm there praying for you. My website is theministerofwellness.com. And I pray that this message and this whole series has been a blessing to you. I really put my all into this, and My website is theministerofwellness.com. I have an online store there, brothers and sisters. I really appreciate you all support. You all have been supporting me, and I greatly appreciate it as I bless you, and you all have been blessing me. And on my website, I have whole food supplements, DVDs, and books. So it's the best way to give back, because not only you get the free message and the free article, but go there and purchase something, purchase a book or DVD or supplement for yourself or your loved ones. And it's a great way to make a donation to me as your minister of wellness. Thank you in advance for your support. Some of you all are just not able, no matter how much you want to give by buying a book or buying a DVD or buying a supplement. And you've asked for another way to donate a lesser amount. That's my Cash App. My Cash App is $Minister of Wellness, $Minister of Wellness. Again, I thank you all in advance for your support. Make sure you submit your testimonial through my website. Just hit the contact form on my website. Once you lose over 50 pounds, submit your before and after picture along with a detailed praise report, and I will send you a free book or DVD. Need your testimonials. If you need coaching one-on-one, do not hesitate. I am a health coach. My time is valuable, so you will have to make an investment. It's worth it. It's worth it. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Save up the money and reach out to me. It's on my website. Go to theministerofwellness.com. That's where my online store, and that's where the whole consultation service is listed. Gives you the price, gives you everything to expect. Once you're ready to make that investment in having me to help you on a one-on-one level, assist you personally with overcoming food addiction, go ahead and contact me. Say, hey, Minister of Wellness, I've read over. How can we get this done? Let's go ahead, and I want to book a consultation. The Superior Health Fair and Seminar, please make your plans now to come on out to St. Louis for the 2K20 Superior Health Fair and Seminar right here in St. Louis, Missouri at the Polish Heritage Center. We only have space for 500 attendees. I have a VIP special for only 100 people, VIP special. You don't want to miss out on that. And I have an early bird special going. Some of you all have already purchased your tickets. That $15 early bird special will end after Labor Day. That $15 early bird special. I'm also looking for vendors and sponsors. So 2K20 weightloss.eventbrite.com to register or to view more details about the event. 2K20 weightloss.eventbrite.com. I look forward to meeting you all. It's going to be a great time. It's a whole health fair, real health fair, a holistic health fair. And then we're going to have speakers, and I'm going to deliver a keynote lecture, health lecture like you've never heard before. I promise you. And again, if you can't make it, share my website. All of these 12 components of food addiction is a part of my knowledge and application-based signature programs, which I've meticulously designed to empower people with the principles they need to eradicate obesity and disease. Please, if you want me to bring this information, a health seminar to your city, if you're not able to make the travel arrangements to come on out to St. Louis, Missouri, January the 4th, share my speaker's website with event organizers, conference coordinators, and meeting planners in your area, or other organizations and churches that have budgets for speakers. Share with them NathanielJordan.com. And you never know. The Most High might touch their heart. They might call me, and I could be coming to your city to empower you and others next. God bless you all in your health journey. I hope you all live a long life in excellent health. It can be yours. Keep fighting the good fight. Victory shall be yours.